along the front of this line right here that we're going to see the possibility for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We could see some small hail in this, but with our rain chances, and when we take an even wider look, the source for all this is actually in the tropics in the Pacific. So it's coming through what we call an atmospheric river. This is going to work its way across the U.S., and as it does, it's going to continue to bring us those rain chances. That's why we're looking at the potential for some flooding. Meanwhile, we're still watching high pressure as this gets closer to the East Coast, because what that's going to do, it's going to start to filter in some very cold air down the mountains. That's going to cause a wedge front. What that's going to do, it's going to keep us much cooler through Thursday and into Friday. Before Tucker will not have any seals bothering him tomorrow, but he will see the Cobras and the Trojans squaring off. As we take a look at the next 7 days, I don't even know what's happening right now. We will see temperatures falling into the 70s before a big warm-up. Severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of this storm, but as it has kept its rotation, we are continuing to see this as a tornado likely. Right now in Dodge, Telfair, and Wilcox County, this goes until 2:45. So we've seen a good bit of rotation with this when it was further to our south. It's really kind of unimpeded by anything ahead of it. So once again, you can see where these greens and reds are touching. That's where we're going to see the tornadoes. So right now has crossed over 90, headed towards 129. This whole thing moving further to the north and to the east. So if you are in Bowens, Queensland, or Forest Glen, you need to be finding your safe. We are live from Central City Park and doing something I never thought that I would say I was doing. We are going to get you some weather from a bee. We are on one of the kids' rides here that they so graciously let us ride. Apparently, potential for a little bit of sunshine. That's going to determine a lot of how much instability we see, but we're also watching for the potential for damaging wind gusts and an isolated. Right now, 1 minute for Zenith. You guys should be in your safe place already. Taylor's Mill within the next 10 minutes. Byron, you guys have 21 minutes right now. You might even want to just undercut it by 10 and have everything ready to go. Next few minutes, get the kids ready and get them in that interior room, that safe spot.
This is an anaconda. I don't get this out much with people because she likes to bite.
Okay,
and
great. Let's put it right by my face. But first, we've got the warm conditions. This is actually some thunderstorm fuel that we've already got out there heading into tomorrow. So as far as our severe weather headlines, got a line of severe storms that will move into middle Georgia starting as early as 4 a.m. So likely this is before you're awake. You need to have a way to get your warnings that will wake you up in the case that this moves in a little bit on the early side. All that happened on Sunday is called a microburst. How that happens, it starts out like any regular storm. We get an updraft that comes from the evaporation, and that fuels the intensification of storms as we go through the day. So we saw plenty of sunshine that fueled those storms. As we head through the rest of the day, we start to get it a little bit stormier, lightning. We're also getting the rain, but the updraft continues to send all of the rain up in the cloud. But sometimes that cloud can get a little bit too heavy with all of that rainfall, and as it collapses, we get a downdraft. So that's when that water in the storm is a little bit too heavy. As the storm collapses, we can get very strong winds, especially if all of that heavy rainfall comes down at one time. The air doesn't have anywhere else to go, and that's when we can get some of those. This is a look at our satellite imagery of Michael. You can see all of those dark colors and the bright colors. That is where this is intensifying, and it's been intensifying really since yesterday. This is going to move into some even more favorable waters as it moves further into the Gulf of Mexico, and that's a problem for us because this could move on to land as a major hurricane. So another look at this. Once again, we've got this very large area of winds. We've also got a very large area of rain, a Category 1 storm right now with those 80-mile-per-hour winds. As this moves further to the north, this is going to intensify, expected overnight to become a Category 2 storm. And then as we are heading into the middle of the week, as this makes landfall, expected to be a major hurricane. Category 3 at this point is what the thinking is. Hopefully, if there's enough shear in the Gulf, we will keep it at a Category 3, and then it moves into our area potentially with some hurricane strength winds in our southern counties, but I think most of us will be seeing tropical storm strength winds here in middle Georgia, and really the center of this could go anywhere within this cone. So that's why we're just kind of watching and waiting at this point. This is just one of our models that brings this up once again as we are heading into Tuesday, but by Wednesday, that's when we're expecting that landfall. A cold front, luckily, is going to come in, help sweep this away a little bit more quickly, and we are looking at the heavy rain once again predicted with this to move in mainly Wednesday into Thursday. So we've got the very heavy rain, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches. Once again, that's all going to depend on the track of this storm. We're also looking at quite a few very high wind gusts that could lead to potentially some power outages. So we're looking at anywhere from 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gust potential with this. Our main threats: flooding rains, damaging winds. We're also going to see the possibility for spin-up tornadoes as we're heading Wednesday into Thursday. I'll have your 7 days. Few areas of some scattered showers across our southern counties. All of that pushing out this evening ahead of more rain tomorrow. But we'll get a break. So for much of the evening, expect to see those partly cloudy skies across the area. Beautiful sunset setting up here in Lawrence County on the 41 Skyview, courtesy Georgia United Credit Union in Dublin, where we're sitting at 68 degrees. It's a calm wind kind of evening. Humidity, though, at 64%. So we're keeping the humidity with us through the rest of the week. We did manage to make it to 71 degrees today, so still well above normal for this time of year. Enjoy it because there is a big cool down on the way. But first, we have the warm and muggy week on the way. Rain and storms start tomorrow, and we're going to keep the rain chances all the way through the weekend. We have the big cool down next week that is going to be about 15 to 20 degrees below normal for this time of year. So just get ready for it. Right now, though, we're still all pretty much above normal for this time of year across the southeast. 68 here in Macon, 71 in Montgomery, and 75 over in Jackson. But you can see the cold front's on the way. It's in the 20s in Oklahoma City, 42 in Fort Smith, Arkansas. We're not going to see the big cool down quite yet. That's going to get here by next week. What we are going to watch is these clouds moving out from this first system that was along the Gulf Coast much of the day, and then our next round of rain and clouds get here by tomorrow. So overnight tonight, we'll start to clear out a little bit by tomorrow morning. Clouds are back. Rain is back sometime likely after around 7 or 8 a.m. And then we keep it pretty much all day ahead of this cold front. It's going to work its way through, but it's really not going to cool us down a whole lot through the day tomorrow. And by Friday, we might start out a little bit on the dry side, but we're expecting showers and potentially thunderstorms by the afternoon. 50s once again on the way overnight tonight. We will see once again the showers and storms work their way through the area. Pretty much a risk all day tomorrow that we see the rainfall, potentially heavy rain as well through the day tomorrow all the way into early Friday morning. We get a little bit of clearing through Friday, but I still think that we could see the possibility for more showers and storms. And then really into the weekend, that's when it gets messy. We'll continue to see the threat for moderate to light rainfall through Saturday. By Sunday, though, we're watching as this cold front really ramps up. This is a strong front, so it's likely to be windy. The heavy rain moving in with it, thunderstorm activity as well. And then just behind it, this is the real story. This is going to be very cold air that works its way in from the Arctic. That's going to push in by the middle of next week. So we're talking about temperatures below freezing for much of the middle of next week as well. This is our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. So temperatures well below normal for much of next week. And we are still looking at a decent amount of rainfall just over the weekend. Some of us could see up to 2 inches of rainfall here in Middle Georgia.